call is now being recorded.
Hello, can we start?
Hello. Is it to me, Vinishji?
Yeah, it is for both you and Neha.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Neha, can we start?
Yes.
Okay, great. So good evening, everybody. We welcome you to the 10th episode of DYDcafé. DYDcafé is a platform to connect dreamers. And our calling is Passion Meets Purpose, where we strive to connect dreamers throughout the world. What we aspire to do is to build a network of social relationships by motivating and inspiring people through the stories of dreamers who have achieved their dreams, through the choices they made and the paths they were paved. So this is what we look forward from this community, where we are trying to bring in people who have chased their dreams and they are moderately successful in what they really wanted to do in their life. So today we have a special person. In fact, a person who pursues two of her dreams. Dr. Chaithanya, she is a physician and a Bharatanatyam dancer. Interestingly, she comes from an alma mater where I studied as well. She studied in Kendriya Calicut, which is something I am too very proud of. And she also studied in Palkat, KV. She did her undergraduate from Ayurveda Medical College in Sharnur, and then went on to do her master's, MD, from STM Ayurveda Medical College. Later, she did her she took some experiences as a research associate, and currently she is working as a research associate, and she heads the academic department of FEPR of college. She started learning dance at the age of 4, and she has a diploma in Bharatanatyam, and she has learned under the various masters, including Unnat HR from Hassan, Mysore. So she is a person who actually pursues her dreams. In fact, she's a person who pursues two of her dreams, which is something very difficult for people like us. So let's welcome Dr. Chaithanya. And we have our host today, Neha Vinish. She's a graduate, psychology graduate, and she is planning to pursue her master's. So, welcome, Neha. Please take over the session from me.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Chaitanya, I'm very lucky to have you with us today. Before we start the session, we're all very curious to know, how do you are a physician as well as a Bharatanatyam dancer. Most of our guest dreamers have been individuals who have left their previous careers to follow their dreams, but you are pursuing both your interests at the same time. So how does that feel?
First of all, thank you, Neha. Thank you, Vinishri, and also my thanks to Preeta teacher, who welcomed, who gave this contact. So thank you so much, all three of you. You people are really awesome. So coming to your question, Neha, how am I balancing both dance and being a physician? To be very true, I don't know. with God's grace, it is somehow going on. Um, I have I've thought about leaving either of it many a times, a million times till date. But then you dance and you miss being a physician. Being a physician, you miss being a dancer. Both of them has its own beauty so much. Uh, you get addicted to it. You cannot detach yourself from the beauty, the peace, uh, the pleasure, the happiness that both of them give to you. Uh, so I really don't know. By God's grace, it is going on. I'm still able to balance somehow being a dancer and a doctor, and it is going on by God's grace. I mean, being very truth, I don't know how it is going to. I mean, how is it balancing both? But it is somehow happening. Let me be very true, because I'm sure everybody who's listening to us is as pure, and the intention of this program is very pure. So I don't want to fake. I don't want to give the, fake promises or the expectations. It is tough, but it is possible.
Thank you, Chaitra. You started learning Bharatanatyam at the age of 4, and you also did your diploma. So, can
Yeah.
you take us through this journey?
Okay. So at the age of 4, when I really did not know what this dance and school and all this meant, I still remember Sunday, 1 o'clock used to be my dance class. So by 12, I used to get a severe stomach ache because I really did not want to go to the dance class. So by 12, my mom will make me dress up and all those things. And I used to be like really lethargic. I used to give like, Mama, I'm not feeling well and all those kind of excuses. But it never gave went up to canceling the classes. So every Sunday I used to hate that afternoon period because I didn't want to go to the dance class, because I was shy, dancing in front of people. I was basically a very quiet, shy girl. So the Sundays used to be my most terrific day of the week. Uh, but then it came 4 years I learned there in Calicut. Then we had to shift to Palakkad because my dad got transferred. So initially, for maybe initial 6 months after coming to Palakkad, my Sundays were super. There was no dance class. Nobody even remembered I used to dance. But then suddenly I thought there is something missing in my life, and a major portion is missing. I mean, then I realized, no, I think I'm missing dance. Probably that's what I'm missing so much. Then I told my mom, I think I should restart dance. Then we tried getting a teacher and going there. Then I understood at the outset, when I was feeling shy to dance in front of the people, I was enjoying it as much as I was um, shy dancing there. Then from there, I never had to stop it, because by then people started realizing me as a dancer. So I to everybody I share the story that when I reached almost like ninth and 10th, we were in KV. So then my mom used to say, "You are in KV, you have one subject less, so you should score enough that you get your favorite subject for +1 and +2." I said, "Yes, mom, definitely." But in during my ninth and 10th, I have done like 3 to 4 programs a week, back to back. I used to enjoy that. Even 1 month, 3 weeks before my board exams, I've given my performances. And then when I came to 12th, my mom said, "My dear child, it is 12th. You are going to have the next stage of your life." So she never said no, but then she gave me a caution. This is the time you have to be little careful with your studies. Not that you have to have that rank and all, but nobody should deny you from what you want. So 12th, I think again I did all the outside Kerala programs, Coimbatore and all those things I've done. And then I joined the professional course BMS. Then there I had my own team. We went for all the college, university, all this competitions and all those things. We used for one competition we used to practice for 2 months. So literally no class. Then after that I came to the hospital. I joined here. We have a temple here, so there used to be temple festivals. So weekly yearly 3 stages is pakka. So I'll dance for all these temple festivals here. So super, I'm not missing dance at all. And then I joined for PG. Then my mom said, "Darling, you're doing your PG, so it is like you're pakka into your profession. So now it is crucial time. Be very careful. You're out of state. You're a place where you don't know." So you be very careful. And that I still remember the day the interview was happening, and principal sir asked me, "What you do other than you study?" So I said, "Sir, I dance." So principal says, "Right, great. Then you should definitely dance for the college." My mom was like, "What?" So God's grace, it has been possible. So this is how the dance has been, and everybody around me has been super supportive. Everybody has been super supportive. I've got good teachers all through. Not the limelight teachers, for I mean, thank God, they never forced me and gave me the 3 stages a month. This is a must, or you should pay so much for the programs, or you should be here for this much time. If not, please don't come to. Never, nobody ever told me. Everybody has been super supportive, and I've been blessed in all those months. This is how I'm still here. So, the best thing is being a doctor and being a dancer. It has been possible with all the best people around, with the super supportive people, and somehow I'm still managing it to be. So that's how the journey till here has been.
I mean, your journey is really transformative because from a child, from a shy person, who was really shy, you went
Shy.
ahead a really beautiful performer, and and we could clearly see the joy in your face when you were talking about dance. So that's really nice. Okay, now talking about becoming a doctor, did you always want to become a doctor? What was it that steered you in this direction?
I always want women to be again very true. It's not. I always had the DR in front of a name made me wow. Somebody, because they are into this profession, they have a DR in front of their name. As a child, this was the only thing that amazed me. If you ask me, you really want to be a doctor? I did not have an answer. But that DR was like wow. What an amazing thing! You are a doctor just because of the you have a DR in front of your name. So that's the only thing that actually amazed me. But then I wanted to know about that innate science as in like the we say no Panchamahapuram and Panchatanmatra. I always had that liking towards all such things, but I never knew for knowing all those things we had to learn all this. But being a doctor, I still remember going to an exhibition and seeing a cadaver, that is like the dead body dissection kept in the medical college. So there I was like the people who had no problem. They were like opening and they were telling this is liver, this is heart. I was like, wow, so nice. And that was the day I decided, yes, I'm becoming a doctor. I don't know who explained that to me that day, but I should really say that man changed my life. That day I decided I want to be a doctor. And it was when I was very small, sixth standard or something. But my mom remembered that day so well. And maybe when I had to take a decision, she said, okay, if you had that in your mind, you should probably be. So my decision making was not very firm, or I was not stubborn on my decisions ever. I still believe there is the divine power that people call, but there has always been somebody who guided this is the way. So I've never had to take a decision, yes or no, cut and right and stubborn, but something has guided me from within. Everything has happened as I wanted. So great. Good to go.
Thing has worked your way. But when did you decide that you will pursue both simultaneously? Because you said that you were confused and pursue the thing. So you realized you would pursue both at the same time.
It was never a conscious decision, but being a doctor is a very hectic thing. So you get depressed, you get stressed because patients, very rigorous academics. So I believe everybody will have that stress buster. For any doctor, if you ask, they'll have that kind of a stress buster for them. For me, it was dance, and since I was exposed to dance from my very small age, it was not difficult for me to again get into it. It was so innate right from the small age. So when I was studying for the medicine, dance was my stress buster. When I was in the dance, the hectic days of practice, these books, Ayurvedic books on this medical books with my stress buster. So it complements each other. So that's how it goes.
That's lovely. I mean, it's amazing how you're able to maintain it. So, how do you manage your everyday routine? I'm pretty sure it must be very hectic. So, would you like to tell us about?
So I'll tell you one day of my PG life. That was the most hectic day I've ever had. So 6 o'clock I have to be in the gym because we have to body train ourselves. So 5:30 I have to wake up. 6 to 8 my gym time. 8:15 I'll be back home. 9 o'clock I have to be in the college. 9 to 5 my college. 5:30 I have to be in the dance class. 5:30 to 8:30 was my dance class. 8:30 by 9 I'll be 8:30 to 9:30 was my Sanskrit class, and then from 9:30 till early morning 2 I used to do my thesis. So this used to be my days when I was doing my PG. It was not one day; it was all 6 days in a week. And Sunday is my day. That's what I call. But Sunday, what happens was my teacher is very strict. By 8, I have to be in the dance class. So 8 to 1 used to be my dance class, and the time that we get is afternoon of the Sunday. So that was me time for me when it was PG days. So this was how that used to be. And during the performance days when I was working, I go to hospital by 7, come back home by 6:30 in the evening, and I used to sleep by 7, wake up by 9, and 9 to early morning 2 or 3 I used to practice because I'll have to perform. So this is how my daily used to be, not at present, but the days has been this hectic as well. So yeah,
Wow,
it's become
your
yeah.
dedication is
Go
commendable.
die in the bed and wake up again in the morning for a fresh day. Yeah.
Your commitment towards both of the fields is amazing. I mean, I think you have inspired a lot of our dreamers today. You said you did your thesis in college, right? So now you're a research associate. Would
Yeah.
you mind telling us more about your current research?
Okay, so I have something interesting in that anyways. So, uh, research right now, I'm a part of two researches. That is one in rheumatoid arthritis, that is first of its kind in the world. That is a black box design research. It's a technical term in Ayurveda. It has never been done. And the current one that I'm working on is COVID-19. So recently we have got the permission from the central government to treat COVID-19 patients at Chennai. So we are rigorously working on it, and couple of days I'm leaving to Chennai. It's so confidential, but then again, so COVID-19 is the new research that is coming up. Super excited about that. Yeah.
That's lovely. Would you say dance therapy has influenced in you in any way? And are you working on anything that combines dance and medicine together, something like movement
Yes.
therapy?
Yes, there is something known as dance movement therapy to people who doesn't know that. That is like including dance to treat something of like diseases like Asperger's syndrome, spastic children, autistic kids, because their main problem is they don't get the cognition.
Chaitanya, one second. I think somebody muted you by mistake.
No, no, I'm on. I can I can repeat. So dance movement therapy for all this developmental problems is like if you call an autistic kid, they'll not look at your face. They have that problem. So they you call you from they you call the kid from the right, they'll not look at you. They'll have all those things and finally they look at you because they have that cognition problem. But dance, what happens is exactly that, you know. So you take your hand to one and you look at there. So it's working so tremendously on that connectivity, cognition, in the moment kind of a thing. So even if 1% you can influence them in this dance, it is a huge development, or it is a huge kind of a cure point for all these kids. So that is one area which probably I think anybody who's learning dance, and this listeners, whoever is listening, if you have learned dance, this is one thing everybody should venture, because there are a huge lot of such kids there which this can really help. So yeah. And they have stiffness is next thing. So dance is all about letting go your stiffness and just move. So in all the ways, dance is the right kind of a medicine which act in a therapeutic way to help such kind of kids. So that is how it works. So that is one thing I would really love to venture. I did venture, but then I had to stop because of my PG. So but soon I'm getting into it again.
Wow, that's a quite exceptional approach, I think. You mentioned that dance can be your stress buster, right? And it changes your body from being very stiff to being calm. So, according to your schedule, also, how would you explain the transition that occurs from being a doctor to a dancer? Like you switch between the roles like almost on a day-to-day basis. So, how would you explain that?
When something interesting that happens is when you go among the doctors, they call you dancer. When you go among the dancers, they call you doctor. I'm like, please, people, yeah, you call me a dancer when I'm among the dancers. That gives you a little more kind of an acceptability. So this has always been there. But when you enjoy both the things, it is not very difficult to switch. One interesting another thing is that being a dancer, you have to wear your anklets, you have to wear the big jumkas and all. You have to be classy. That's how it is. In the dance class, you have to wear all this kajal and all those things because you have to internalize the dancer in you. This is the way it has to be. But when you go as a doctor, you cannot wear all these things and go. You can't wear your anklets and go jill in the clinics. So you have to switch the whole thing. So in the dance, you have to wear such kind of loose dress for you to dance. But when you're going, that it cannot be that loose and flowery and all those things. So this is how it goes. But once you enjoy both, it's not tough. It's possible just to yeah. So I
Do you
have two sets of dress for dancers and for so my mom used to have a tough time if we go for shopping. So this is for your dance, okay? This is for your clinics, okay?
do you
So
think you also have two different selves, like who you are when you dance and who you are when you're doctor? Would you say that is different and that you change
yes, my many of my friends says once I'm sitting in the clinic, the whole face expression changes and then I become so serious. My God, you can't joke inside a clinic. I said yes, exactly, that's right. But being a dancer, you have to be open to everything. You have to laugh. You have to be over expressive. Yeah, somehow it happens. But yes, I enjoy it. It's going on. Yes.
Okay, that's lovely. Okay, I would like to request the audience to type in their questions so that we can continue the session. But Chaitanya, we would like to know what are the setbacks you've experienced in your life and how did you overcome them?
See, setbacks, as such, if I have to say, see, professionally pitching yourself as a dancer, it is a different story altogether. You have to go for competitions. You have to go and meet such people. You have to be a known person among such group. Then only you get programs. Then only people recognize you as a dancer and all this. Me being as a doctor, it is quite difficult going and being there, going for a competition. Uh, it's very difficult. So I've never been able to give my 100% as a dancer in that way. And as a doctor, it has been like I should have my time for practice, or I should have my me time for dance to think about how to do, because you have to work on your expressions, you have to work on your facial things, you have to work on your body and all those things. So you can't be either of it 100%. So like see Lakshmi Govardhanji was saying, they both are very bad misters. You can't none of them agree to be the second priority. Both of them has to be your first priority. So that's how it is. Setbacks, I wouldn't say, but if you ask me, am I a successful dancer? I'm not. I'm still not, or I would probably take a longer period to be that. So if I am a being a successful doctor, no, because I've still not been able to have my own clinic because I wanted that time for my dance. So this is a setback, I would say, but again, I'm not regretting it for even for 1%. I'm just so happy the way it is. So I'm enjoying the way it is. Yeah.
I think rather than success, the beauty lies in your happiness, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
How would
Uh,
you both the fields have impacted your life? Because clearly, the doctor, your life is very taxing, but as a dancer also, I mean, how would you say it has impacted you personally?
Personally, it is very easy to adjust between the people and switch between the gangs. So I'll never say I'll only adjust with this gang of people. I can easily switch. If it is a very serious scientific conversation that is happening, I can be there, tolerate all these things. But if it is a very fun loving, just crazy things happening around, I can be. So I never had a problem being in this kind of a group. I've never had that problem adjusting with the people. That has been one thing, and I've never uh, stood back in taking challenges. So if you ask me right now, go somewhere, get that thing and done, I'll not think twice. It's okay for me, because in dance it is so, no. So suddenly in the dance, the music changes. You have to still smile on the stage and adjust, because for me it is always the last moment that works, because the time is always a constraint. So my mom still says, you are the expert in on stage choreographing, and she exactly catches me when I do that. She'll do this. I can see her in the audience and she does that. So I've never had that problem in venturing into things. I'm comfortable with any gang, anytime, anything. So that is the main advantage of this, being
Okay.
both. So it has been, yeah.
Now you've developed the ability to adapt to any situation, and that's
Yes. Yes.
okay. Vinish wants to know, are you more of a dancer or are you more of a doctor? How would you
This is
describe?
the toughest question, Vinishti. You would go and ask me, don't put me into trouble. I don't want to drop in any of these things ever. So if you have to call me, I'll be the happiest if you call me the dancer who dances, the doctor who dances, or the dancer who consults. I mean, God willing, that is my wish. I mean, I want both of them together till the end of my life. That's what I am. But people say, when exactly when I go to the dancers gang, they call me as a doctor. You are more of a doctor. You always advise. But when I go to the doctors gang, you say you are more of a dancer. You have that eyebrow expressions and all. You're more of a dancer. But I wish both of them go together till the end of my life. Yeah.
I mean, you've been successful so far ahead, so I'm sure you will be in the future too.
Of course, God willing.
Okay. Purnima wants to. Okay, first of all, she says it's nice to meet you, and she says she loves dance as well and wants to pursue the same. And she is interested in cinematic dance. Would you like to suggest any online classes?
Okay. Hi, Purnima. Nice to meet you again. Thank you so much for saying that all nice words. But Purnima, I would always say have a base in dance. Okay. To go get trained, there is knowing your body is very important. Whatever be the kind of dance, cinematic or classical or Kathak or whatever it is, knowing your body is very important. For that, have a base, at least for 1 year, 1.5 year, get trained under one good dance teacher who would let you know what you are, what is your strength. See, you should use your muscles to dance, not your joints. This takes a time to get into your brain. Get trained, and then you switch to cinematic dance, Bollywood, hip hop, tap dance, whatever it is. Knowing your body is the base thing that you have to do. So just go, just dance, just let go, just move. That's all. But get trained under a good teacher. That's the first main thing that you have to do. That's all. Online classes that you have asked, there are so many people who are taking online classes. There is one of my good friend, Lakshmi Karthik, she takes online classes. Then lot of people have come up. Karuna Sakari in Coimbatore, she has started. Uma Govind from Trivandrum, she has started. There are a lot of good people. Do some research, like what is that you want, and then there are a lot of people. I can give you the names if you want. Few of the names like Lakshmi Karthik, she's very close to me, so I know. Yeah, that is one name you can just be blindly into. Yeah. Hope
Yeah,
you got it.
we'll give Purnima the details later. You spoke about good dance. So, would you say you have any mentors in your life, people you idealize and look up to?
Yes. One of the good Meenakshi Srinivas, Rama Vaidyanathan, even my teacher Unnat sir. These people are all who goes that extra mile to take this dance to the public. It's like they do this movement therapy to the underprivileged. Even my teacher, Anandi Krishnamurti, she makes sure that all the people are equally given that chance. So she gives that time space for the creativity to grow. I even still I remember the day previous she'll tell me there is a stage tomorrow. You have 20 minutes. You select your song and dance. So that gives you immense possibility to innovate and create and all those things, and a stage to perform as well, which is important. So select your classes like that where you can grow and you can mentally connect. That is very important.
Right. Okay, thank you. Vineet says that you are combining your vocations of being a physician and dancer and creating a new space for yourself. Would you say this is something like a new career option for someone like?
No, no, it is not a new career option because this has prevailed since centuries. As I would every time quote, in the earlier days, a physician was somebody who would know everything. They call it Vaidya. So Vaidya is the person who takes care of the. See, there was also a time wherein Vaidya will be given all the money and all the sampat, all the treasures till a patient gets deceased. So if you are my doctor, I'll give you or whatever I have till I get deceased. The moment I am deceased, everything is cut. You no more get all my fees. You get nothing of those, because this is your responsibility to make me not get into disease. This was how the system used to be centuries back. It is now the things has changed. So then you should know dance, you should know music, because everything includes the maintaining of the body. So this is how it used to be. So it is not a new career option. Maybe people have forgotten that. We should bring it back. I think that's how it has to be.
Thank you, Chaitanya. Gopika wants to know, do you plan to venture out in any different form of dance?
Bharatanatyam has always been what I wanted. But I'm a super good student. I learn everything. So venturing into new things, I'll never take a step back. I would only love to learn new things, but as I have been trained under Bharatanatyam, it is always something I would love to. But always open to new things. That's something I really love.
That's lovely, Chaitanya. Vinesh wants to know, if you were an allopathic doctor, do you think it would have given you the flexibilities that Ayurveda provides?
I'm not sure, Vinishji, because I don't know if I should say in Ayurveda there is a lot of possibility for you to get deep into and bring out something new. So take some simplest of the things. If I say uh, Aruchi is, I'm sure most of you are Malayalis here. So Aruchi is a word. Okay, this is a very technical term in Ayurveda. This simple word Aruchi has 10 different meanings in 10 different contexts in Ayurveda. Okay, it's not easy at all learning Ayurveda. Even dance is better. So this gives you a deep thought which Aruchi to apply in this context. It is a real mind fight that you have to get into. Okay, what does the author actually meant when he wrote it in Sanskrit Aruchi in this context? So each term in Sanskrit Ayurveda text is something that you have to put your mind, and it is something what you understand. Nobody gives you the dictum, this is like this. So it is for you to think, get deep into and decide. So this has definitely helped me as a dancer. There is no last line. You can always improvise. This helps me because I am into Ayurveda. I understand there is a possibility of improvisation. Maybe it would not have been possible in allopathy because HB is only hemoglobin. There is no different word. But in Ayurveda, if you say rectum, it is not blood. There is something more understanding to it. Blood contains in rectum, it is not the same. So this has been possible in Ayurveda. I don't think so much of things would have been possible if I'm into allopathy. I feel so. I'm sorry if any allopathy doctor is listening to me, but I feel this.
Thank you for answering that in your own way, Doctor. You mentioned Sanskrit, and earlier you mentioned you go for Sanskrit classes. Did you do that as a part of your dance, or was it something of an interest that you wanted to pursue?
No, that is because my thesis or the dissertation for my PG research was Manuscriptology. So it is like a 13th century manuscript critical edition. So the style of writing, the Sanskrit, the language that was used is completely different. So unless and until you have a good grip on Sanskrit, it was not possible to do this critical edition. It is for that I went for the Sanskrit classes, which definitely would help me in both dance and the Ayurveda. So that was one common point which helps in both the things. So it is, and I always wanted to learn Sanskrit. It's such a beautiful language.
Yeah,
All everything scattered in that. So yeah.
that's very fascinating, Chaithanya. Okay, Mary wants to know, can you can you share more details about your parents' contribution towards your success, especially in your childhood?
Okay, parents. I'm the only daughter to my parents, so um I told you, I never wanted to go to dance class. So it is only my mother who used to literally drag me. My mother used to work for. I used to be really behind her, so that in case if I'm lost, she'll come back in search of me, and we can go home. That is how it used to be. So it was. She literally pushed me to the dance in the initial days. So then every time my mom said no, I have got two opportunities extra. So maybe she, in mind, she wanted me to perform, and but verbal she said no. And my dad is a central government employee. He's into railway, so it is a uniform duty. So getting a leave and all, it's not very easy. But he made sure by the end of my program, and I finished my program, he's there to pick me and get me back home. So yeah, they never said no to any of my programs till date. So see, when I was in Hassan, that is near Mysore, Karnataka, I was staying alone outside of home. I used to get back from dance class only 8:30, 9 in the evening at a place where there was nobody to help me literally. But still they never said no to me. Dad or mom, they never said, "What are you doing? It is already 9:30, you have to be back." They never said that. They have been understanding, been supportive. Yes, we have had our fights, we have had our conflicts, and it's always there. But at the end of the day, they have been supportive. So yeah, not just parents, it will not be possible to this end. So they have been good parents, I should say. I don't know if she's listening to me, yeah, but
That's very sweet, Chaitanya. Uh, okay, so right now, would you say that you are confidently living your dreams?
literally, yeah. If you say who's the happiest person in the world, I've always felt I'm so happy the way I am. I've never felt like I should change this, I should be more of this, more of that. Yeah, that is always an improvisation that comes, but I'm basically happy. I'm happy the way it is. I'm happy the way I dance. I'm happy the way the doctor I am. I'm happy. Yeah.
You're very
Living
good.
my dreams, yes.
I mean, not everybody can say that. I mean, you're one of the very few, I
I
think.
don't have complaints. I think if this is the way my life goes for the end of my life, I'm happy. This is all I want. Yeah.
You said, speaking of your future, we have a viewer who wants to know what I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Namaste, Kanti.
Uh-huh.
They want to know what is your future goal? Becoming a worldwide classical dancer or an Ayurveda doctor?
I think I've devoted more than 10 plus years to being a Ayurvedic physician now. I think I should take a little time out of it and concentrate a bit on dance now. Uh, but if given a chance, I would opt for a classical dancer because I'm sure now the doctor doesn't go out of my hand. I've made sure it doesn't now. I have done my PG also, so nobody is going to snatch that. So now, at present, if you give me a chance, I'll only opt for a classical dancer.
We hope you can do that, Chaitanya.
Did
Now,
you make that question, Neha? Who has influenced you in making a decision that you will be a doctor and a dancer?
yes,
Um,
is that okay? Would you like to answer that?
Influence? Who has influenced me? Seeing any beautiful dancer on the stage, that evening I'll decide I'm going to be a dancer. But the doctor in me says, no, darling, your patients are waiting there. You have to go back, treat them. So, influence. Who has influenced me so much? I think it's my mother because she's a fighter. Okay, you give her any problem, even if the world WHO comes and gives her a problem, she'll find a solution out of it. So maybe she influenced me to fight and make sure that I do both of it. Maybe she has only given me one lesson in my life. Don't be a failure in anything that you attempt to. Never and never be the second person in that list. Fight for it and stand for it, no matter what. I think she influenced me.
Great words of advice for all of us, I think. We're living in the COVID world right now. How would you say that has affected your career as such?
For me, as a doctor, it has not affected me because this is the time the doctors should give their best, and we are reaching out to all the possible patients, and we are guiding them, and we are bringing up the awareness among the patients. We are doing our best as a doctor. I don't think it has, if it has not affected me, only the physical patient coming to us has stopped, but we are doing the consultation over the phone, over the Zoom, over the Skype. We are reaching out to everybody possible who comes to us. But as a dancer, yes, it has. I wanted to pitch in a lot of things. I wanted to take 2 months off, and I wanted to be only as a dancer, but it didn't happen. I wanted to learn about movement therapy this year. I don't think this year it is going to be possible. uh, so such things has affected me, but as a doctor, no. I think we are doing our best to be there.
Okay, thank you. Gopika wants to know, have you ever experienced failures and how did you cope with?
A lot, Gopika, a lot. There used to be days when I really feel depressed because teacher gives you the homework for dance. You don't get so much of time that you do it properly and go to the dance class. It's not possible because you have your patients waiting, you have your thesis waiting. So it is not possible. So at the end of the day, I'll not be the good student in the dance class. It is not possible. So I'll be like managing here and there. Going back to the presentations, you will not get enough time to be that perfect in the presentations. It has gone good always, but then the point where you have to be, you will not reach there. You will always have 2 points left. You cope up there, but in a longer run, what happens? It depresses you. Why is it that I'm not able to give my 100%? Am I a failure as a person? Not a doctor, not a dancer. What am I doing? It gives you a lot of stress inside your brain. So there has been failures a lot. I've never gone to a competition till date. So when you go to a new dancer and ask, oh, how, so what are you as a dancer? They give you 5 awards that they have won in this competition, this competition. Me as a dancer, I have not won any competition, so I don't have that credit. See, I stood at first in this particular competition. I don't have that because I never get time to go for a competition. So these are all the failures when it gives you a lot of depression, but at the end you're happy being both. So yeah, just move on. That's it.
Thanks for answering that, Chaitanya. Um, if you have to mentor the next generation, will it be as a doctor or will it be as a dancer or both? And if both, how are you going to do that?
uh, I would say you always to need to have that point wherein you lose yourself, and you don't have to pretend, and you just move, just lose yourself and be there. So I would only opt to be both as a doctor and a dancer. So to the next generation, I see there is a lot of changes that is happening in the generation, as in, like, they don't have that kind of a humility to wait for the teacher. They don't have that kind of a wait and learn. It's all quick these days. The generations are really changing. So if I have to mentor the next generation, it's definitely both. Have that time, take that time, stay there, learn for yourself, just be there, wait for your moment to come and learn. So if I have to mentor, it is both. Pakka for sure. No compromise on that.
Thanks for answering that, Chaitanya. Okay, Dev wants to know, do you look at dance as a means to define yourself? If so, what is it that you plan to pursue in the long run?
Oh, I know. He's my friend. Okay. I knew he would ask that. Okay. Okay, Dev. I want to be a dancer. Yes. Dance should be my definition. And for long run, there are a lot of possibilities in dance. there are so many manuscripts in dance. So I should be a person who knows at least one aspect of dance in depth. You should be that one go-to person for that particular topic, be it body training, be it manuscriptology, be it performance, be it the aesthetics. One thing I think I should learn it in depth, and I should be that one go-to person in dance. That's my long run plan for the moment. But dance is definitely going to be my definition for long run.
I hope that happens. Chaitanya. Sudesh Karuat wants to know, will you recommend dance as a medicine to anybody?
Definitely, Sudesh is also my friend. Okay, he has a knee problem, so Sudesh, just go and start exercising your both your lower limbs, so that the muscle gets strengthened, and then your knees are super good to support your body. Definitely, dance is a medicine too. As I told you, for the autistic kids, when spasticity is a problem, people who don't know to emote, the people with different personalities, people who have undergone depression, the kids who has a problem with the cognition, developmental issues, for all of them, dance is one of the keen area where 100% result you will see. So dance is a super medicine for all this thing. I don't know why it is still not a very popular therapy, but this is something which any dancer should venture into, because there are a lot of kids who are suffering. I would repeat it, but that is one thing where this can be a beautiful way of bringing dance to the public.
Yes, that's true. You spoke about therapy. How important, what are your thoughts on mental health in the current situation?
Yes, sadly, we saw a few suicides and all those things. I've shared it with Vinesh, if he remembers. So in the diseases like schizophrenia and all, people don't know how to handle their emotions. So in Ayurveda, one thing that they say is that even for one moment, you can see yourself as a third person. You be probably saying, "Oh, what did I do that?" That is when you look up to yourself as a third person. So even if one moment you are able to realize, oh my God, what did I do? That is a huge thing for all the people who are undergoing such kind of a depression or psychological issues. This is possible in dance, because in dance you are a bird, all of a sudden you are a animal, you are a king, you are a queen, you are a beggar. So this transition is possible in dance. This is exactly what you need to all the people who are having psychological issues. So
Yeah, there
this
are
is what
several
works.
roles we take on as a dancer, and that requires us to take on different roles, and I think that really helps. Okay, Vinish,
And when you cry on stage, what happens is you're literally pulling off all your stress. You love somebody on stage. What happens is you have that emotions coming. It is you, no. So
right?
yeah.
Yeah, we can see them completely transform into that character, like completely, like that they don't
Yes.
know who they are when they take on that role. Does that happen to you too?
And every time you're training yourself, no? You're training yourself to be that king. You're training yourself to be that beautiful girl. So that really works in a lot of ways.
Vinish wants to know, like the autistic kids, do you see the application of dance for other special kids?
Yes, 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 definitely autistic. Any developmental, you name it. There is a spectrum of disease. Okay, all the developmental issues, the older age. Even if you call it the muscular dystrophy or that MND, all those diseases where the nerves degenerate, dance can be a. If you're properly trained in dance, such degenerative diseases can be kept at a that is always preventive measures for all these degenerative diseases. Okay, so and when you're training in dance, what happens is all your muscles gets strengthened and your core is going to be very intact. Core is going to be very strong. So what happens is no back pain will come, because there is no much pressure over the backbone. So it is not only the autistic kids there, the therapeutic value of dance is as in like unbelievable. So yeah, like that.
Thank you, Chaitanya. Gopika wants to know, being a dancer, we always tend to understand and express emotions a lot. Do you think that will cause you to be more emotional with your patients' problems?
Yes, that is a real. You rightly said, Gopika, that is a real issue because in dance you always overjoy and all those things. So, but in clinic, what happens is the patient comes and cries in front of you, saying, "I have a lot of pain and I'm not able to." You should not emote. Should be just like that. Okay, that's okay. We are going to take care. This is a real struggle that happens to somebody who's having dance and a doctor being together. But that is how you are trained. That is why my friends say, in the clinic, you have such a serious face, we don't know how to handle. So, the whole training of being a dancer and being a doctor is exactly opposite. And what you said is absolutely right. This is somewhere because hearing the story of patients, it goes back to your brain so much. But I make sure it doesn't. I leave my clinics back there and I make sure it doesn't take me. So, yeah. And confidentiality is also there. You cannot share the patient's problems with others. So you can't share it also. So it stays in your head, but you can't take it, you can't internalize, you cannot sympathize. You can have the empathy, but you can't sympathize.
Right.
So struggle is definitely there. That is the point of struggle, being a dancer and
I
these
mean,
things.
yeah. So would you say both of your passions have affected each other, and like your career as a doctor has affected your dance and your dance in your as in your physician career?
It has not affected, it has helped me in both the ways.
Yes, yes,
Both have only helped me to be a better human because people recognize you very fast, you know. Oh, this is the same doctor who danced. Then, oh, this is the same dancer as a doctor. So it's only helped me. That there has never been a negativity of any way. So yeah.
sure. I mean, yeah, it has been like, I mean, you're recognized by more people because you've been doing both. Even today on our show, you're the first person who's pursuing both their dreams because everybody leaves one behind to follow the next. So I think you're clearly an inspiration to us.
I don't do say for me. I don't know what happens tomorrow, but as of now, this is something how it goes, and I'm absolutely happy about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Chaitanya. Yeah, Gopika says it's very great to hear you today.
Thank
Uh,
you so much, Gopika. Thank you so much.
okay. Do we have any more questions from the audience? If not, what would you like to, what is the message you would like to give our audience, our dreamers?
Never step back from taking challenges because that makes you grow. Never ever say no to new things in life because you have only one life and experience as much as possible. Be a student, no matter what your age is. Be a student. Always be open to new things and stay crazy as because it's you ultimately you should enjoy what it does. So stay crazy and be the way you want to be ultimately. That's it. No matter what happens around, just be the way you want to be a student open to things, venture into new things. What my teacher always tells me is make blunders, then you learn. So, yeah, remembering her, do all the blunders possible, stay funny, take everything light. That's all. Stay crazy and stay happy. At the end of the day, you should feel, yes, okay, I did something. I'm not a failure. That's it.
That's beautiful, Chaitanya. Thank you so much. Can I ask Vinish to conclude the session?
Yes, please, Vinishi, thank you. Thank you so much, Neha. You're doing a great job.
Okay, over to Vinish for the conclusion.
Okay. Uh, thank you, Chaitanya. That was very interesting and insightful discussion that we had. While you were sharing your life experiences, I was noting down some of the interesting points I thought which I could take away. So some of the points that I noted is I'm just going to say it out loud. You told that you hated Sundays and you hated going to dance classes. And now you are telling that you can't live without dance. Wow, it is something like you go to a movie and you when you first see the heroine or the hero, you start with hating each other and then you become the soulmates. So I think it is just like the movie story that we we see. You have experienced in your real life. That's an amazing thing. Second point that I noted was how you express your gratitude. You told that everybody around me has been super supportive in my journey, and that's an amazing thing to hear, because yes, what we really become is not something that we do it on our own, and it's just because that there has been always people around us who has been supporting us, and you expressing it with our dreamers, it makes it even more interesting. So thank you for that. And I also loved when you told that when you actually wanted to be a dancer, I mean, when you actually wanted to continue your dancing, and similarly, when you actually wanted to become a dancer, there were some instances in your life that actually triggered it. Because both dance and being a doctor, you told initially it was not something that you really wanted to pursue. But there was some life transforming incident that you had, which made you pursue these two things. So there was one other interesting thing I noted, and I like the way how you are using movement therapy to treat your patients and other people. I liked the way you told that have lots of failures, and
Yes.
I also heard you telling that there has been lots of moments where you went into depression when it was not helping you, and especially you. I mean, I heard you telling that you were not a dancer, you were not a doctor. I mean, these are the struggles that many of us see. I mean, many of us who pursue our dreams, we get to experience these things, and there's always a question: Am I in the right path? Am I doing it right? And you sharing your experiences, it's actually a big insight for all the dreamers, because anybody who pursues his or her dream actually goes through these instances. I mean, we become so very doubtful about the step that we have made, and we always want a reinforcement, and that's exactly what you told. And I like you when you told lose yourself, and that is when we lose ourselves, it gives a lot of power to us, and that's a very powerful statement. And I like the last the takeaways that you wanted to give to our dreamers. Never step back from taking challenges, never say no to new experiences, be a student, stay crazy. And I liked what your teacher also told: do blunders, and that's how you are going to learn much. I think lots of interesting things, interesting experiences that we heard from you. We had a very wonderful time. Thank you for joining us today. I know our dreamers, our participants who joins every week with us has got lots of life experiences from you, and thank you once again. And let me take this opportunity to thank our participants for joining us every week. Uh, Today, we'll close our session. Next week, we'll come back with.
But before that, I would like to thank Preeta teacher, the beautiful dancer that she is, who introduced me to you. One awesome person. I mean, she's one more person who inspired me. The way she dances is so beautiful. I still remember the way she teaches me. I don't know if she's listening to, but huge thanks to her for taking me here. And the teacher who told me make blunter, she's no more. So she's another person who inspired me to be what I am. Dr. Mallika KJ, she's no more, but lot of love to her. And my mother and my father, I don't know if they're listening, but you both are super great people who without whom I've never been, and also to the person like Krishnadev and other people who are listening there. You are super strength pillars and pillars of strength for me, and please continue being that super criticizers of my life. Thank you so much for being there. And Vinishji, you're great. You're doing such a great job. And Neha, thank you so much for patiently listening to all my stories. And thank you, Vinishji, for taking all that notes and concising. And now I am realizing, oh my God, I said so much. And all the viewers here, I don't know many of the names here, but thank you so much for patiently listening to me, because this is probably the first interview I'm ever giving in my life, and I've dreamt of my a day where I would give an interview when I was in ninth and 10th. I was wondering at what age in my life I would give my first interview. So that was today. I would remember this day the entire life. And thank you so much, and all the people who took time out of their busy schedules to listen to my story. This is absolutely not great, but if I have inspired even one from all the 25 people listening, I am blessed. That's it. So thank you all. Thank you, Vinishji. Thank you, Neha. Thank you, Preeta teacher, and thank you
Right.
everyone
Yeah,
for
thank
having
you,
me
thank you.
on this
I
show.
think I actually
Very
missed one point.
insightful.
I'm sorry for that. I missed that you told your mother influenced you a lot, and she's a fighter. I mean in between my notes I somehow missed that point. Sorry for that. It has been a great sharing experience with you. So thank you, and thank you to our all our participants who joins us every week. So let's meet next week, same time. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish.